Hi, this is my first video in my series on course outcomes for DFS1. My name is Mike Pollock, and the date is August 1st, 2021, and I'm recording these videos in Kelowna while I'm on a much-needed vacation. So I'm in a sort of a unique situation in that I actually have been taking courses at SAFE for the last probably 10 years as I pursue my degree. I've been working the entire time throughout various departments, but I've been with the same company the whole time. So as far as artifacts go, I'm trying to present as many things as I can that that I've created throughout the years in my time at Enerplus. And I'm going to try to present those as artifacts and the lessons that I learned, and sort of roughly which courses I felt I learned those skills in. So those will be sort of how I will be presenting my artifacts. The first artifact I'm going to present is my use of financial and accounting principles in a business setting. So I think one thing that I have created recently was a very large business process that was extremely successful. We had a process at work that took an accountant 16 days per year, roughly about 16 days a year, to pour over all this data that she had received from an agency down in the United States. So this data was all sort of accounting data, and it's a summary of all of the ins and outs of transactions that make up sort of what the agency believes is still owed. And this agency is sort of notorious for nonstop review and revision and prior period adjustments. So it's very common to receive multiple adjustments in the same month for even 5 cents. That if they can find 5 cents they think they're owed, then you have to get their data and give them that 5 cents, and you have to sort of acknowledge it within the data that they provided. But that data is extremely messy, and that's why it took 16 days to pour over it. So what I did was I took the data and I sort of kind of brought it into Excel and just kind of played around with it for a while. It took me a little while to really get to know it, but what I discovered was the reason why it was taking so long was because it was the general nature of accounting. It was the trail of debits and credits, and it was very challenging to find a way to take, say, one item, 1 month, one sale or something, and kind of roll it all back to its initial first entry, and then find a way to show all the trail of debits and credits afterwards that stem from that first transaction. And that was sort of the major challenge here, was that there was no simple way to do that in Excel. So I played around for quite a while, and I used quite a few, let's see, I've got up to column BH here because a lot of this is all a little formulas I have going on sort of behind the scenes here. But I was able to kind of come up with sort of a common key that I could use to pull in any sort of absolute values of things that to rebuild that trail of debits and credits, because the signs were different. So that's sort of the nature of working with accounting data, is that, you know, in some cases debits and credits will have the same sign, but in some cases they don't. In this cases they had opposite signs. So working backwards was extremely challenging, and also there's just hundreds of thousands of lines of data that were part of this these data dumps. And so it made sense why this thing would just take so long. So I was able to apply sort of my understanding of debits and credits to this problem, and also sort of use what I can do with Excel. And I was able to solve this problem. So it went from a 16-day process to something that takes about half an hour a month. And the accountant is very happy with it. We've found no glitches whatsoever. And management is quite happy with it as well. And I'd say that this is actually something that, although I used a lot of my knowledge from Excel and learning about, I would say there was a computer fundamentals course I took years ago at SAIT. This really all was due to my understanding of accounting. This goes back to probably financial accounting number one, just the concept of debits and credits. And So one area where I've been able to apply that. There's hundreds of areas I've applied that knowledge, but I think this one for me was one that really stood out because of just the amount of time that it's saved. 16 days is massive from 16 days to 30 minutes. I'm very proud of what I did here, and it is due to my understanding of the basics of accounting and applying them to a problem here. And yeah, that I believe is a artifact that represents my understanding of bringing financial accounting principles to a business setting.